Faith leaders representing a spectrum of religions, donor families, and transplant recipients are calling your attention to the importance of becoming a donor. Joining us from Mount Pleasant Presbyterian Church is Reverend Lib McGregor Simmons, who is here to share more on this year's National Donor Sabbath. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And we've had the pleasure of having your husband come and join us
That's
about the
right.
very same subject.
Yes.
First of all, why is it so near and dear to your hearts?
It is near and dear to our hearts because 8 years ago, my husband, who was very near death because of a genetic condition, a liver condition, was very blessed to receive a new liver and has been healthy ever since. And that came about because the family of one individual, Peggy Long, who suffered an aneurysm, her family made the very generous decision to allow her organs to be donated, and we were the recipients of that blessing.
Was she a registered donor at the time?
She actually was not a registered donor at the time, but her family, her 4 sons, thought about who she was and how she had been a giving person all of her life, and in the midst of their grief, they came together and made that decision.
That's incredibly selfless and truly profound. And I think a lot of people who don't think about it, you know, when things happen to us and you just wonder, well, goodness, you know, you could always have helped somebody. It's hard to do it in retrospect. It's a very difficult decision for a family to make on your behalf.
Absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's really, well, one of the reasons for National Donor Sabbath is to get the word out and to try to encourage people through their faith communities to embrace the idea of registering as an organ donor, because the situation that arises is always one that's very sudden, usually very traumatic, and when your family knows that you've made that decision, it makes it so much easier for them to be able to take that step in the midst of their confusion and their grief.
And you, as the donor, there is no retrospect. So when our time is up, there is no going, oh, well, I wish I had put the sticker on my driver's license and registered myself.
Absolutely.
You know?
And you know, this National Donor Sabbath is a way for faith communities to embrace the commitment to eye, tissue, and organ donation. So it's not just solid organs like we're talking about, but it's also eye and tissue and all of the ways that your body can help somebody else.
You know, I can't remember the number of organs that one can donate, but it's a very high number. It's about 8, right?
Well, 8 solid organs, and then many other tissues, corneas, of course.
Yes,
and
there's so many people waiting on lists as well.
Yeah, over 100,000 people right now are on a list.
Wow.
Waiting.
My goodness. Ever since you've been holding these donor Sabbaths and your husband's doing such a wonderful job getting the word out, have you seen an increase in people becoming aware and becoming donors?
Well, I can't say that there's a direct correlation, but we really work with these faith communities, all faith communities, and it's the entire weekend, so it really embraces Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and every other faith community, because all of the faith communities really, their theologies support organ donation as a way of reaching out and caring for God, however that God is defined for you, and caring for your neighbor. And
I think it's important that you do include the religious aspect with this discussion, because there's a misnomer, there's a myth that there are religions out there. I mean, maybe there are somewhere, but most of the major religions that we're familiar with do not frown upon such a donation.
And indeed, they don't. It's not only do they not frown upon it, they actually encourage it.
They encourage it.
Most of them say that life is not simply about what your body is here on earth, but you know, your body can be a way of actually helping other people live life to the fullest in a way that they would not otherwise be able to.
I think that's a wonderful note to end on. And this year it is being celebrated November 12th, 13th, and 14th. So this is a great reminder for people to get out there, become a donor, and really truly think about giving the gift of life. Reverend, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
We're back after this.